Congressman Jimmy Patronis of Florida joins us now to speak about why he thinks big tech must be held accountable. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you here. Now, this case is deeply personal to you. You're a father of two. What did you make of Zuckerberg's testimony today and what it means for the families impacted?
I really hope we're not going down the same path of what happened with big tobacco a couple generations ago. Our executives that are running these companies know they're creating devices that are sticky. I refer to it as a digital fentanyl, and the eyeballs have to be attached to the devices. They make it very difficult for our children's and for adults, for that matter, to put their devices down. The more eyeballs, the more screen time, as your reporter just played into, shows how much they can charge or how addictive the product is. The more addictive it is, the more they can justify for their ad rates that they charge. And when it comes to our children, they should be off limits.
There's been big focus on Section 230, as historically that has shielded these social media platforms, essentially saying internet companies are not liable for users' content. Now, you call this dangerous and want to repeal it. How would repealing it impact the health and safety of children?
Well, thank you for asking that question. If Section 230 is repealed, then the reality sits in. So, right now, I can't buy an ad on your television news program to ask viewers to go and destroy a home or to inflict pain or suffering. But somebody can go on social media right now, post that exact same request to the public, and have no liability whatsoever. So the social media companies are hiding behind 230, but they're allowing painful, dangerous, encouraging messages with no regard for what type of damage they might be doing to the public, to another individual, or self-harm. And this isn't just social media companies, this is chat bots. These are the devices out there. And I just feel like enough's enough. We've got to look out for our children. Section 230 is the unifying policy that they all hide behind.
And Congressman, an argument in favor of Section 230 is that it protects the speech of online users and that users should be held accountable for what they say, not the companies. Your thoughts on that?
Well, then this is the problem, getting back to the crux of this lawsuit. The devices are being made sticky. They know there's an addiction there. This is why, like I said, I refer to it as a digital fentanyl. This is just like Joe Camel was appealing to our children generations ago. This is no different than the tobacco executives saying that tobacco is not addictive, but then their own notes come forward and show that addiction is something that is the crux of their whole business model. So again, Section 230, as fine as it may be, it is being exploited, it's being perverted, it's being used in ways it was never intended to be deployed for.
There is a YouGov poll showing that the vast majority, 86% of people, want big tech held accountable after learning about the trial. What would accountability look like?
Well, that would be really deployed back to the states. I'm a states' rights guy, so you've got a Section 230 provision that is protecting these companies that are hiding behind it. But if different states want to have a different role, to some states may want to penalize them, some may want to fine them, some may want to open it up for litigation. I've not delved into that, but I know this: with Section 230 gone, there's a self-policing that takes place, and these companies will back off and they'll be more proactive to ensure harmful content is not being made available for immature eyes. And I know that these companies go out and they roll out these solutions, tell Congress to pass the XYZ bill to protect 13-year-olds. At the end of the day, these companies can do it right now without congressional action, but they can't because of the greed and the profitability of what these apps do and how they capture the young minds and eyes of our children. It's just not acceptable. And again, I'm just asking for a solution. And if you won't come for a solution, then we take away the protection and let the free market force the solution.
And will social media, as we know it, widely used by billions with content posted instantaneously, have to change if we want a healthier society?
Well, that might be the case when you think about just yesterday. the type of extremes as a 16-year-old boy was seeing a social media video and trying to emulate these crazy, and now first responders to go out and save life because now they're trying to become internet movie stars to try to raise their profile. This is not what young, immature minds can manage. This is far above their understanding of what the risk versus reward is. And again, this is why Section 230 is just allowing the wide open West to exist, and our children are putting themselves in harm's way. The self mutilation, the inability for them to mature in a proper environment, the things that lead to transgender questions or suicide. All these are because Section 230 does not correct any does not ensure any protections are in place because the social media companies have no liability.
Oh, Congressman Petronas, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for raising the awareness of the importance of repealing 230. Y'all take care.